A Star is Born is nominated for 8 awards, including Best Picture. A Star is Born is the third remake of a movie from 1937. It's about a talented but down-on-her-luck singer-songwriter, played by Lady Gaga, who gets discovered by a declining rock star, played by Bradley Cooper. He helps to launch her into stardom as he's on his way out. It's easy to see why this works for a lot of people, considering that shows like X Factor are still pretty popular. I don't mean that in the obvious way that it's a story about a musician getting discovered, but it plays on a lot of the same emotions.
It's the same story, told over and over.
Even when the story is completely deviating from the traditional kind of movie about getting discovered, it is still swinging really big at those really cheap and easy emotional moments. The best part of this movie is definitely the first few minutes. Jack just happens to stumble into a bar on drag night, and one of the ladies performing just happens to be sporting her own boobs. So he finds out a little bit more about this person, and this whole little meet cute begins.
Is that me?
See it.
And from the moment he first sees her singing to the moment he has to leave for his next concert, it's a really sweet little meet cute thing, a little romance that starts out there. And there are just like 1 or 2 really well placed slow motion shots. And these slow motion shots are really great. There's this whole thing about Ali's nose. They have this whole thing. She's self-conscious about her nose and she thinks she can never be a good singer because of it. Nobody will want to look at her because she's hideous because she's got this nose. And he's like, oh no, what's wrong with you? And he reaches out and it's the first time they touch and he's like caressing the bridge of her nose like this. And that's like the best shot of the whole movie. It's like really slow motion. Everything about it is great. Like the weird performance between them. The fact that it's like almost hilarious, but also kind of sexy at the same time.
Lord, I feel like I'm dying.
Sadly, that kind of energy doesn't maintain throughout the movie. It just kind of ends there. And there's really not much else that I enjoyed about the movie except for some of the performances. I really liked some of the interactions between Bradley Cooper and Sam Elliott. Their performances like kind of feed off of each other in a very interesting way that like nicely ties into the story, and I think that's a notch above everything else in the movie. But really, this movie is all about that sentimental stuff. If you can get down with X Factor on a Thursday night, then this movie is tailor-made for you. I don't want to knock it too much, but for me, you know, I see what they're putting out there, and you can even eat some of that up. I enjoy some of it, but I finished the movie feeling kind of gross and manipulated about the whole thing. By far, nothing in this movie is quite as bad as the ending. It's just a little bit nonsensical, but worst of all, it's the most manipulative thing that happens in the movie. I don't hate this movie completely, but I'm not a fan.